There are moments in life when everything feels uncertain, when doors close, plans fall apart, and your heart quietly asks, Ya Allah, what is happening to me? You try to stay strong, you try to be patient, but deep inside there is a weight you cannot explain. And sometimes, in those very moments, you forget a powerful truth. Allah is not ignoring you, He is preparing you. When Allah is about to bring something beautiful into your life, it rarely comes in the way you expect. It often begins with discomfort, with confusion, with a test that stretches your patience. Because what is coming is not small, and your heart needs to be ready to receive it. One of the signs that Allah is preparing something beautiful for you is that He begins to detach your heart from what you once thought you needed. Something you loved, something you held on to tightly, slowly starts to slip away. And it hurts. It really hurts. But this is not punishment. This is protection, because sometimes we hold on to things that are too small for the destiny Allah has written for us. You see loss, but Allah sees space to give you something better. And in that moment, your role is not to chase what is leaving, but to trust the one who is taking it away, because He only removes to replace with something greater. Another sign is that your connection with Allah starts to deepen in ways you didn't plan. You find yourself turning to Him more, making dua with more sincerity, feeling your dependence on Him like never before. Maybe you wake up in the middle of the night with a heavy heart, and without thinking you whisper, Ya Rab. That is not sluchayast. That is an invitation. Allah is pulling you closer because what He is about to give you requires a heart that is connected to Him. The gift is not just in the outcome. The real beauty is in the relationship you are building with Allah along the way. Because when your heart is attached to Him, everything else becomes a bonus, not a necessity. And then there is the test of patience, the waiting that feels endless. You make dua and days pass, weeks pass, maybe even years, and nothing seems to change. Shaitan comes and whispers, it's not going to happen. But what you don't see is that Allah is arranging things in ways beyond your imagination. Every delay has wisdom. Every unanswered dua is not ignored. It is being shaped into something better, something more perfect than what you asked for. Allah does not work on your timeline. He works with perfect timing, and sometimes if He gave you what you wanted immediately, it would not be khayr for you. So He delays it, not to hurt you, but to give it to you at the moment when it will bring you the most barakah. Understand this. Allah sees your patience. He sees the tears you don't show anyone. He hears the do's you whisper when no one is around. Nothing is lost with Him. Not a single moment of sabr goes unnoticed. And Allah is Ash-Shakur, the most appreciative. He rewards in ways that are far greater than the effort itself. So if you are in a place right now where things don't make sense, where you feel like you are losing more than you are gaining, where you are waiting and waiting, don't lose hope. This could be the very moment Allah is preparing something beautiful for you. Stay patient, not because it is easy, but because you trust Him. Stay patient because you know that Allah's plans are always better than yours. Stay patient because Jannah itself is built on sabr, and remind yourself again and again. If Allah is making you wait, then what is coming is worth the wait. There are moments when something leaves your life and it feels like a part of you has been taken away. It could be a person you loved, an opportunity you worked so hard for, or a plan you were certain would bring you happiness. And when it's gone, your heart struggles to understand why. You replay the memories, the effort, the du'as you made, and you quietly ask, why would Allah take this away from me? What we often fail to realize in that moment is that Allah is not taking away to deprive you, He is taking away to prepare you. We become attached to things because we see them as good for us. We build hopes around them, we imagine our future through them, and we convince ourselves that this is exactly what we need. But Allah sees what you cannot see. He knows what is hidden behind that opportunity, that relationship, that path you were so eager to hold on to. Sometimes what you love carries harm you don't recognize, or it limits you from something far greater that is already written for you. So in His mercy, Allah removes it, not because you are unworthy of good, but because you are deserving of better. The pain you feel is real, and Islam does not ask you to deny that pain. Even the prophets experienced loss and heartbreak. But what transforms that pain into something meaningful is understanding the wisdom behind it. When Allah removes something, He is creating space in your life, space in your heart, space in your time, space in your focus. And that space is not meant to remain empty. It is meant to be filled with something that aligns more closely with your heart, something that brings you closer to Him, not further away. Sometimes we hold on so tightly to what is familiar that we unintentionally block what is greater. We keep knocking on a door that Allah has closed, not realizing that staying there is preventing us from walking toward doors He has already opened. Letting go is not easy, especially when you don't see what's coming next. But faith is trusting Allah even when the picture is incomplete. And in that moment of loss, when your hands feel empty, remind yourself that emptiness is not the end of your story. It is often the beginning of something you could not have imagined for yourself.